Hey guys, welcome back to FixItPhillip. Thanks for watching. We just got a 2006 Nissan Frontier towed in, and the customer said that the vehicle's not starting, so we're going to take a quick look and see what we find out. So key in the ignition is a manual. Hold the clutch down. Nothing. So you can see when I crank it, nothing's happening. Lights don't seem to be dimming or anything. I don't see a check engine light. So let's hook up the scanner and see if we have any communication with the PCM. Okay, so I got the scanner hooked up here. And let's see if there's any communication to the computer, the engine computer. Okay, no communication. Let's try ABS. No communication to the ABS. Let's try airbag. Okay, so we have communication to the airbag module. Let's try the cluster. Nothing. Body control module. No communication to the body control module. So let's check some fuses out first. See if we see anything weird. Okay, I got a power probe here. I'm just gonna hook this up to the battery. We are at 10 volts, so battery's pretty low. But we should be getting some kind of communication still, I would think. So voltage there. Let me mute this so it's not so loud. Ground. We got power here. Now these Nissans have this main fuse bus, I guess you would call it here. There's multiple major fuses here. There's a 140 amp here that goes to this here. That one's good, 10.3, same as here. This one we have nothing. Let me turn the speaker back on. The voltage here, no voltage here. So this is an 80 amp fuse. So let's see if it seems like this fuse is bad. Try to get you guys situated here. Yep, there's a bad fuse. So we have power on this side of the fuse, but nothing on this side, so it is blown. The question is, why did it blow? So I don't have any history on this car. I may have jumped it backwards, or there could be something shorting the circuit. So let me try to rig something up here and we can see if we have a straight short. This power probe has a fuse breaker inside, so let me put voltage here and see if it shorts the circuit breaker internally of the power probe. And it does not, so there's no straight short as far as right now. Okay, I made these two jumper wires, and instead of just running it straight, I have this fuse that I'm gonna put in line. I don't have an 80 amp on me, but this is a 60. So let's put this fused jumper wire from this point here to the battery terminal. Then we'll go back in the car and see if we have any communication. Probably gonna have to get a jump box too, because this battery is showing 10 volts. I don't want to just buy a whole new fuse piece here, put it on and have it blow a fuse. This is all integrated together. So we're going to do this jumper wire with the 60 amp fuse. Okay, we'll hook this up here. Okay, well, that's not blowing right away. So let's check inside. Let's check the engine computer again. Okay, so we do have communication now, which is good. So that fused wire at the positive battery terminal must feed multiple modules. So we have a service engine soon light on now, which is a check engine light. Let's see if it'll start on 10 volts. Nope. Let me get a jump box. Okay, fuse is still good. Okay, so now it's running. Let's see if the alternator is charging. Okay, 14.2 volts, so the alternator is charging. So that's interesting. I wonder why that main 80 amp fuse blew right here. I'm gonna take it for a drive. Make sure we don't have any, make sure that this 60 amp fuse doesn't blow or have any issues at all. So it might have just jump started the battery backwards and that fuse was the first one to blow. Like I said, no history, so this came in as a no start on a tow truck. Got a good ground on the engine and on the body. Okay, so I'll just leave this hooked up for now and we'll test drive it and see what happens. Okay, well, I'm test driving the truck and so far so good. Before I took on a test drive, I scanned all the computer modules. The ABS had a code for abnormal voltage and the four-wheel drive light was on, same thing, voltage fault, so I cleared those. Nothing came back on. Four-wheel drive is working fine, ABS is working fine. I tried cycling it from two-wheel drive to four-wheel drive, high and low, and everything is good. So I also wiggled some wires around in the engine bay to see if anything was touching or anything was short to ground. I can't find anything, so I don't know why it blew, to be honest with you. This thing has 173,000 miles. We are on the islands, there's a lot of corrosion. I wonder if it was just high enough resistance around that that fuse there where it just gave way. I've turned all the loads on, AC, headlights, alternator's charging fine. Lowest I can get it with all the loads on is about 13.3 volts. Turn all the loads off and it's about 14.2. So I'm gonna go ahead and order that whole fuse block piece to the battery and put a new one on, since it's not blowing any fuses, can't find any shorts anywhere, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so I got the new battery fuse block here. Here's a new one. The only one I can get my hands on was this Dorman 926-002. So like I said, this 80 amp fuse is blown. We've been having it hooked up to this 60 amp fuse, bypassing that blown fuse, and it hasn't blown. Did a bunch of wiggle tests everywhere on the harness, on the engine underneath, and everything seems to be good. So we'll just replace this piece here. Okay, so I'll just disconnect the battery here. So we got a 10mm here. We got a 12mm here. And a 12mm here. Then we have these two connectors down here. You just push here on this tab on the side. And these are the other fuses you have here, 60, 80, 80, and 100. And then that 180 here that was blown. I don't know if you can see that. But yeah, no good. Just make sure there's no corrosion in these connectors either. Okay, we'll clean these eyelets up with a razor blade, scrape them so we have a clean connection here. Okay, now we can take off the jumper wire I put on there temporarily. Okay, I'm just going to hook up my power probe here so I can show you we have voltage now. So 12 volts here. 12 here, so this fuse is good now. 12 here, and then we also have the wires on the bottom that are connected with those two connectors. So here's the old one. You can see right there where it was blown. Okay, so let's start it up. Okay, we should have a service engine soon light on, which we do. And it's running fine. Okay guys, that's it for the no start issue on this Nissan Frontier. We didn't have any communication with the PCM and a few other modules like the body control module, things like that. So if you run into that kind of problem, I would just check the obvious things first, like fuses, things like that. Try not to get tunnel vision, just kind of do an overall inspection, look at everything, and go from there. So luckily for this one, it was just a bad fuse block. Why that fuse blew, like I said, I'm not sure, but I can't get it to short, and I even put a jumper wire for a 60 amp fuse and it wasn't blowing, so I think we're good. Thank you guys very much for watching. Be sure to hit that subscribe button below. Hopefully this video helps you guys out, and remember, with Fix It Phillip, you can fix it. I'll see you next time.